Joined alongside by the current WEC bantamweight champion of the world, the pride and joy of East Chicago, Indiana, Miguel Torres. Coming up on August 9th, he defends his title against Brian Bowles live on the Versus Network from the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Miguel, only a couple of weeks away from your big fight coming up against Brian Bowles. Tell me your thoughts.
It's going to be a good fight. I think Brian's going to come in really good shape. He knows that I can push the fight for 5 rounds nonstop, so he's going to be ready for a war. I'm going to come out ready to show everybody what I can do and put him away.
Brian is taking the mindset of he feels that he is David and you are Goliath. It's only a matter of time before somebody beats you. When he says that, how do you respond?
I'm not impressed with his words, you know. His actions don't impress me and his words don't impress me. He's earned this shot, but he's not beating anyone that I couldn't have beaten easier than the way he's won. And the guys that he's knocked out had no stand-up ability whatsoever. And the guys that he submitted took real ugly shots on him. So what he's done hasn't impressed me. His experience is subpar. I know he trains with a really good team, but he hasn't been where I've been in fights, and he hasn't been where I've been in training. Our mindsets are different. I've been wanting to do this since I was a young kid. Since I was a child, I wanted to be a world champion. I wanted to be a fighter. He just got into the sport a couple years ago. And, you know, although he's earned his shot, I don't think he's on my level. And I'm going to prove that August 9th.
What do you think about him training? You mentioned a little bit about him training with better camps. He's been training with American Top Team, most notably the WEC featherweight champion of the world, Mike Brown. Are you impressed at all with the fact that he's going to American Top Team? How much do you feel that is going to elevate his game coming up on August 9th?
Well, unless he trains with American Top Team for 11 years and then fights me, it's not going to help him out at all. It's going to help his mindset. It's going to help his confidence. But when push comes to shove and I put him in bad situations, he's going to try to come out on top, and he's not. He's going to try, and it's not going to happen. And what's going to make the difference is going to be that experience that I have in those situations. The training that I've had with great camps and with great coaches and with great training partners has been over 11 years versus his 3 or 4 months of training for this fight. I know he's been training for a long time because he knows this is a big opportunity for him. Everybody knows that if they beat me and they get what I have, it's going to change their life. It's going to put them in a better living condition. It's going to put them on top of the world as far as being on top of the bantamweight class, which is an emerging weight class for the WEC. And everybody wants that. So he's dedicating a lot of his time and energy into this. But at the same time, that experience level is not going to be there. You know, I'm going to be able to push him into areas that he's never been to. And although I know when the time comes, he's going to show what kind of a man he is, he's not on my level yet to show what kind of a man I am.
One of his major strengths is obviously his wrestling game. What have you been doing in training camp to prepare for his wrestling? Because he has a very strong wrestling background along with his overhand right that seems to be pretty deadly, and he's been able to knock out and stun a couple of fighters in the WEC.
Well, I eat punches for breakfast, and he can take me down all he wants. I'm going to submit him. It's not a problem. I know he hits real hard, but I hit pretty hard too. And for every one punch that he hits me with, I'm going to hit him back with 4 or 5 and then a knee and a kick. I know that he doesn't have very strong legs. I know he doesn't like to get hit in the leg at all. I'm going to beat up his legs. I'm going to punch him in the face. I'm going to knee him in the body. And I'm going to try to choke the shot out of him.
Why did you say in pre-fight interviews, you mentioned you were either going to knock him out in the first or submit him in the second? Are you that supremely confident that you are going to go out there and truly break his spirit and end the fight in that fashion, either or?
Because I'm visualizing the fight coming out where we're going to come out banging in the first round and I'm going to catch him in an exchange. Or he's going to play cautious and he's going to run away and try to make me chase him to where it's going to make it hard for me to hit him. And then in the second round, we'll get into an exchange and he'll get a takedown.
Assuming you get past Brian Bowles on August 9th, what is next for you to do at 135? Is the next thing to move up to 145? Because you mentioned time and time again you want to be known as the Muhammad Ali of 135.
After I beat Brian Bowles, there's a ton of guys at 135. You know, there's still some Japanese prospects out there. There's a rematch of Mizukaki. There's Benavidez. There's 3 or 4 other guys that are in line after Benavidez. There's a ton of guys out there, you know. Going up in weight is something that I want to do, but unless the pay is there to motivate me to do it, or unless WC wants me to do it, and they want to keep me where I'm at 135. They want me to solidify that weight class, and they want me to stay where I'm at. You know, 145 stacked for them right now. If their weight class was hurting, they'd want me to jump up, but they've already made it known to me that they want me to stay at 135. They're going to bring in a 125-pound division, and they need me to stay at 35 and make it exciting, so the 125 can work.
But tell me about the expansion and just the renaissance and the increasing popularity of the WEC on a worldwide scale.
I mean, the WEC is huge right now. I think they have some of the best lightweight fighters in the world. That's in 55, 45, and 35. And when 25 opens up, they're going to have the best fighters at 125. They're the premier organization in the world for those weight classes. If you watch those shows, they're so different than UFC shows because all the fighters, from the undercard to the main card, they come out to win. They fight to win. They fight for the knockout. They fight for the submission. They fight for the domination. A lot of times in different organizations or in the UFC, a lot of times guys are so scared to lose, they fight not to lose. They fight just to do enough. Every now and then there's guys that come out to be exciting, but the guys that are on top, a lot of times they fight to be safe. And the WC, those guys are totally different.
Is that what you feel separates you from everybody else?
I think what separates me from a lot of other fighters is that I just want to go out there and I want to put somebody away. I want to break a spirit. I get a rush from being able to break somebody's will. And I know that if I can break your will, I'm going to win the fight. So it's not even me thinking about winning a fight. It's me about breaking your will and me breaking your spirit. That's all. Everything else follows from that. But my main objective is to break somebody's spirit.
You fight not only for yourself, but also for your family, your wife, your beautiful daughter, and also your community. Is that what you take with you inside the cage every single time you prepare for a prize fight?
The biggest thing that I think about when I'm training for my fights is my daughter. I have my family, but my daughter's future is what is important right now. And I know that every fight that I have that I get past is going to be a step in the right direction for her future. The rest of my family's already grown, and their futures are already certain. They could fend for themselves if they had to. My daughter, if I died next year, if I died tomorrow, what I've done with my life this far is gonna make her life easier. So every fight that I win, every bout that I have, every move that I make in a positive direction is gonna help her out when she gets older.
A couple more questions. Tell me about the transition into being a superstar. I mean, you fought locally and were a local legend for quite some time, and we saw you at UFC 100 signing autographs. Everywhere you walked, people came up to you and wanted to talk with you. Tell me about balancing training as well as meeting fans, signing autographs, and doing all the press that is entailed because, as we mentioned, the WEC is on a worldwide scale.
I take it in strides. I still don't feel like I'm a superstar. I do get recognized a lot, but I just take that as people, showing respect to what I do. It hasn't hit me to where I think I'm a superstar or I think I'm better than anybody else. I still go out there and train hard for every fight that I have. I still, stay in the same place. I keep myself below my means on purpose to make myself think differently than most other fighters. And I think that's what keeps me hungry. I don't let things like that, put my mind in different places. I know what's important. I know where I came from, and I know what it took me to get to be where I'm at. So I know it's important to stay in that mindset.
For people that don't know you, what is one thing that the fans don't know about Miguel Torres?
That Miguel Torres will always go out to a fight for a win, for a knockout or a submission. That I will never go out to fight for a decision. I will never go out to just get by in a fight to fight not to lose. I will always fight to win.
Is that what you want your legacy to be? When your career is all said and done, how long do you foresee yourself fighting for time-wise, and what do you want your legacy to be in the sport of mixed martial arts?
Time-wise, I give myself 3 more years. It could be less, it could be more, depending on a lot of different variables. But ideally, I would want it to be 3 more years and then get out. My legacy, I just want it to be one of the most entertaining fighters in the world. If not the most, one of the most entertaining fighters in the world. I want people to know that every time I'm on a card, that I'm going to bring 1,000 miles an hour nonstop aggression and action to a show, to a fight. People know that now, and they know when I step into a cage that they're going to see something that they haven't seen before. And that's what I want to bring, the element of surprise and unknown. When I fight, they know they're going to see something they haven't seen. They know they're going to see a flip kick or a shoulder butt, or they're going to see a variety of techniques that no one's ever used before. And that's, I still have a lot of tricks in my bag that I have not used yet, and I'm just waiting for the right moment to use them.
If Brian Bowles is watching this, I know you've had a lot of messages to him in the pre-fight to this big matchup coming up on August 9th. Miguel Torres defends his title against Brian Bowles live on the Versus Network. What do you want to tell Brian Bowles if he's watching this?
Brian, I hope you're ready for a war. I'm going to come out and I'm going to put you away. I'm going to send you back home hurting real bad. Don't take it personal. It's all business.
Miguel, greatly appreciate it. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
For sure, son.
The current WEC bantamweight champion of the world, Miguel Angel Torres, the pride and joy of East Chicago, Indiana. He defends his title on Sunday, August 9th, live on the Versus Network, beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central.